Hi, everyone. As you come in, if you don't mind, share your camera so we can see you. I want to meet you all.
Hello.
Hello. Participants, great. Think I'm excellent. Good. All right, we're a little early, you guys. You know that we start at 10 after the hour at Berkeley. I appreciate you all being here so promptly. And so we just have a little time because I don't want to start until it's 10 after because some people just joined then. But please hang out. Yuang, you got your mask on? I see you've got your mask. Okay, that's good.
I'm in the lab, so.
You have to have the mask on. Okay, got it. Understood. Okay. Get this very nice doorbell sound every time somebody joins. It's very interesting. Anybody have any fun activities you've been doing while you've been quarantined? Any new skills you've learned?
Keep living.
What?
Keep ourselves alive.
Okay. Survival skills?
Yeah, yeah. And I think I developed something to find a restaurant that allow us to take out or something else.
Oh, you've been finding good restaurants. Okay. All right. Hey, listen, everybody, here's one thing that'll be interesting. Change your name here. You can just go up to the 3 dots and then you can rename yourself and just say where you're keep your name on there, but then add onto it just what city you're in right now. So I'm in Mill Valley, California. So I'll just put that on there. No, don't take your name, Palo Alto, don't take your name off. Leave your name and the city too. And if you have a nickname or anything that you like to be called, you can put that on there too. Like, you know, if you have like Samuel, if you prefer Sam, just put Sam in there so I can know how to call you. Okay, good. So I'm seeing, so wow. So this is the location where you are now. All right. Hunky, you're in South Korea, is that right?
Yes, that's right. I'm in South Korea.
City. Okay, good. What time is it there? Let's see, Korea.
It's 8 a.m. right now.
8 a.m. Okay, all right, that's not so bad. All right, what else do we have here? Berkeley, Greece. What time is it there?
It's
like
2 a.m.
2 a.m. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for staying up. Although, do you stay up is this like a typical night for you?
Yeah, I mean, not that late, but.
Okay, I like that. Listen, I won't blame you if you leave a little early, okay? So I don't expect you to stay the whole time. All right, we've got Irvine. Mo, put in your city so I know where you are. And
so where should I put my city?
oh, you change your name by, if you click on your image, then there's the 3 dots.
Oh,
and then you can click on that and you can rename yourself. It's a great little feature, actually. And lets me get a sense of where people are. Okay, good. Pretty good number of you are actually in the Bay Area, which is good. Didn't expect that. Actually, okay. That's my daughter in the background. She's supposed to be quiet, but she's all right. We still have a few more minutes. So wait, so other things you've got, other fun skills you've acquired over this time? Anybody else? You can unmute. Don't be shy. Anybody learn anything new? Skill, cooking, recipes?
Front-end development.
Oh yeah?
I had
Okay.
no prior experience with it and got thrown kind of just in the fire with it for my job this summer and learned it, so it's good.
Oh, good. All right. Good. Thanks, Chris. Good to know. Who else learned something new in the last 6 months?
I started making jam in quarantine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's that? Brian?
Rashid.
Rashid. Okay.
Yeah.
Started making jam. What kind of jam?
What kind of fruit do you like?
Well, we made apricot jam.
Yeah, apricot's fun.
Okay.
It's in season also. Stone fruit
Yeah.
season, so peaches, apricots, plums.
Good. Yeah, it was a lot easier than I thought. I thought it was going to be very complex, but it just was a matter of like boiling it up and putting in some lemon and spices. We put in cardamom. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like 4 ingredients always, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, jam. Any other skills, recipes, books you've read, things you've gotten to do that you didn't do before?
I think I did make a lobster Wellington.
What?
Lobster Wellington.
What is that?
So basically, you replace the beef Wellington's beef into lobsters and scallop mousse.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Is it, what do you call it? Lobster Wellington?
Lobster Wellington. Yeah, it's
Lobster Wellington. Okay. Okay. I have never heard of that, but okay. Anthony, you've been really doing some culinary experimentation here.
oh
I
yeah,
have to tell you.
yeah, like
Well-
for right now, we can only like develop something satisfy our tongue for me.
Well, no, look, listen, I think that this is a time, I know it's very rough, and I know many are suffering, but I think there's something good to come out of this. I think we're going to look back 10 years from now and say this was a very positive thing. And I know that's not true for everyone. Anyone who passed away probably won't say that, but if the reason I say it is that I do think these kind of changes often bring about a real shift in our thinking and can lead to new ideas, new discoveries, new patterns. And I think it's a real wake-up call in a lot of ways. So I know you're struggling, but try to look at it on the positive side and think about, what's going to come out of this? Because we are going to get back to normal at some point, right? That's not in question. But, what new things are you going to come out of this with? So I want to encourage you guys to be as optimistic as possible, all right? I'll share with you one recipe I just worked on this week, which was, and Tatiana might appreciate, Greek salad. And it was amazingly good. And it was kind of thing, I never made a Greek salad. I saw it in a do I have it here? No. But anyway, I pulled it out of a magazine and I made it, and it was amazing. It was so good. And the key is getting good feta cheese, which I had to look around at Whole Foods. I found it, but
Good
so
feta
good.
and good olive oil.
Good olive oil, right? Okay, there was good olive oil involved too. I need to get some really good crusty bread and some Retsina wine. That will really make it come together. But I have to say, everybody loved it, and it's super healthy, and anybody can make it. What are the ingredients, Tatiana? What do you put in yours?
Main ingredients are tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, feta cheese, olives,
Yes.
peppers, oregano. You can put some basil in there.
Yeah, oregano. And also, here's a trick I learned, which is you take the onions, red onions, you chop them up or slice them, and then you put them in ice water. And what that does is it makes them super crispy and also not as like acidy, and they become sweeter. So I'm just saying.
I didn't
If you
know
guys
that.
wanna
Thank
try.
you for the tip.
Right. Okay, good. I think we should always use the first few minutes of class to talk about food and recipes, okay? Because I need more ideas. And you guys are, I'm sure everybody in this class has got some good food ideas. Okay, let's get started. It is now 4:10, and I see we have 34 people here. Fantastic. We're going to do a couple fun things. I'm going to do breakout rooms, and I'm going to pair you up to meet each other, and then you're going to come back and introduce each other in a few minutes. I want to go over a little bit about what we're going to do in the class. And if you hear a dog barking in the background, that's the other new thing from this pandemic. We got a dog, which I don't think we ever would have gotten. So here she is. She's making her presence now. All right. So let's see. We're gonna start. I'm gonna share my screen and then go over some of the elements here on the from the syllabus. And I'm gonna put the syllabus in the chat here. And I want to encourage everyone here. Please don't be afraid to. That's the syllabus there. So go to that page if you have another window you can open. And what I want you to do is, because I'm going to be, when I share screen, it's hard for me to necessarily see if you raise your hand, but just unmute and just say, excuse me, just like you would in class. And I want to encourage you all to be actively involved in this class. I want it to be fun and engaging and not something, you know, just sitting and watching and, you know, zoning out, because it's going to be much more fun for everybody if it's dynamic. Okay, so I'm going to share screen here. Okay, and you can see my screen? Can you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And what I'm going to do is just go through this a little bit, a few of the key things, and then and if you have questions, again, just interrupt. Is that big enough to see okay? Do you want it to be bigger? It's okay? All right. So
a little bigger would be good, actually.
Okay, great. That's good feedback. How's that? Better? Okay,
Better.
great. And so these, oh no, sorry, that's this is other classes you could take other than this one. So we'll start over here. I think I gave you the wrong URL. Let me give you the right one. Sorry. Going back into the chat. Sorry. Here's the syllabus. Okay. All right. Are you able to get into the syllabus now?
Yep.
Okay, great. And also got the participants panels over there. Great. So what I want to do is first of all, I am Professor Ken Goldberg, and ZY, I think she's here. Yes. ZY, do you want to just say something? Where are you?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Zhong Yao, and you can call me ZY, and I'm currently a master student at IEOR, and I'll be the only reader for this course. And yeah, you can contact me if you have any questions or anything. Yeah.
Terrific. Okay, great. Thanks, ZY. So her name and contact information are there. You've obviously found your way to our discussion page. I mean our Zoom page. So you'll find us here every Wednesday. Zoom contingency plans. Very quickly, if we lose Zoom, and it could happen at any time due to a variety of effects, then don't panic. Just log back in a couple minutes. If it doesn't work, and it may be due to a power outage or something like that on my end, if nothing else works and you can't get back in, don't panic. What we'll do is we'll have I'll send around email with instructions, and we'll just catch up the following week. Okay, so that I'm fully expecting somewhere along the line, either I'm going to get cut off or you will at some point. And so don't worry. It's just part of the occupational hazard of working remotely. Also, the other thing is we could get Zoom bombed, and I don't know if you've had experience with that, but it's pretty upsetting. If it does, what I'll do is I'll end the session, and then I'll try and come back in a couple minutes. And if it persists, then I'll just have to end the session, and we'll report it and try and get more security measures. I hope we won't have too much trouble with that because of the passwords and other things that are set up. Okay, office hours. So I'm gonna have office hours every Monday, 2 to 4 p.m. and so you can visit me there if you have something you want to talk about. That's also a Zoom room, so there's the passcode. I'll keep that on there. There's a B Courses site where there's going to be some information in particular about assignments, and it's a place where you can drop your assignments. You can submit assignments there. You can just do it as PDFs. And as ZY said, she'll be helping me coordinate that aspect of the class. I also wanted to let you know that this class is open to all graduate students. I know we have a majority of them. I just went through it. The list is, we have a real majority of nuclear engineering students this semester. MSE, material science, then ME, then IEOR, and then mechanical engineering. And I think we have an architecture student and a business student in here. Are you guys there? I don't know if they're still with us, but so the class is really geared more toward engineering, but it is relevant and people can take it for credit if you're outside engineering. I also want to note that because of the time zone difference, and I see Tor's in Bangkok, Tatiana is in Greece. If it's a real hardship for you, you do have an option to take another 375 course. And so I added a link here where some of the other faculty are teaching in engineering have set up their own, so just offer links to their courses. So I'd love to keep you in our course, but if that time is really bad for you, then that's an option. And what this class is about is giving you some background for helping you be better GSIs, better teachers. And so we're going through a fair amount of detail from this textbook and other sources. A big part that I believe is really important is presentation skills. So we're gonna get plenty of practice in that. And then we're gonna discuss a lot of interesting ethical issues that could come up, and talk about what to do about them. There's so much there to learn that could be an entire course in its own right. So I do want to ask, how many of you are planning, and here, let's use the raise hand feature in the participant area. How many of you are planning to someday, hoping to become a professor? You don't have to commit right now, don't worry. But I'm just curious how many that's in your, that's your plan or your goal. Okay. By the way, if you can't find the raise hand feature, just unmute and we'll explain it. It's in the participants section. Okay, good. So I see about 5 hands up. All right, that's very good to know. You can pick your name. Okay, 6. Okay, so you can take your hand down now. And now the next question is, how many of you are going to be serving as a GSI this term? The term that we're in right now. Okay, wow. That is really interesting. Okay, so that's good. It's about half the class. That's great. Okay, so you're serving as GSIs this term, and okay, you can put your hands down. Let me ask, how many of you are going to be teaching a class? In other words, you're the instructor for a class this term. Okay, just a couple. No, none. No one is teaching a class this term on their own. Okay, so you're GSI, so graduate student instructor, sometimes known as TAs, teaching assistants. So I'm going to be giving you some tools that will be helpful both in your role as a GSI, in terms of running your course sections, your discussion sections or labs, and also that will help you to craft your own courses and things like planning a syllabus and elements like that. Those are very important things to think about and be aware of. I am very aware that most of you are just not planning to be teaching classes, but this will be a little bit more of the flesh out the background of teaching in general. Now, how many of you, again with hands, will probably never serve as a GSI? In other words, you're here as a grad student, under some kind of funding such that you don't expect that you'll ever need to be a GSI during the course of your time here. Okay, now I see a lot of hands. Now, okay, that's helpful. So one question you might be asking yourself is, why are you here? And I understand the reasoning is that you're probably thinking, I'm not going to need this material. I don't have any plans to teach it or to teach, and so why am I here? And it's just my department has forced me to be here, right? So how many of you are in that position? You're sort of here under I don't want to say protest. It's fine. Just don't worry. I'm not going to hurt my feelings. It's just helpful for me to mentally understand that. So keep your hands up for a second. I just want to see that, because in past years I've found out that some students are in that position, and it's very frustrating. And I understand that. I would be frustrated too. I actually technically don't know why we do that, and it's, why that's required that way. So I want to work with you, and I want to figure out a way to make it worth your while, to make it interesting and not frustrating, and also to some degree to make it such that you can get through this without suffering too badly. In other words, there's a way to pass this course without having to make it a burden on you. Okay, so I'm with you. I hear you. And for others, I think there's a spectrum of how interested you are in this topic, how much you really like the idea of learning or teaching and learning about teaching. So my goal is to try to address as much of that broad spectrum as possible. And there'll be some things that'll go into too much detail for you, and some things that won't go into detail. It won't be enough detail. So I'll try to balance it out. I'm really open to your input at any time. And if you tell me, listen, this class is really bumming me out, I'm really hating it, that's okay. I want to hear that. I much prefer to hear that than you to just feel that way and not tell me. Okay, so and we'll try and figure out a solution. Okay, I'm on your side. All right, so what we're going to do, let me come back to the syllabus now, is the format is we meet for 2 hours. It will often be less than that, and I will be happy to let you go earlier. And there's up to 6 hours a week. Don't be scared by that. I do not expect that it's going to be, I expect most weeks the homework will be, you can knock that off in under an hour. I want to keep it short and sweet and easy for you and enjoyable. So it's up to, because we have to, for truth in advertising, we have to sort of clarify how much time will be spent. It's 2 units for this class, and if you're really excited about learning and about this topic, we can give you an extra unit, so you can do 3 units for this class. And if you're interested in that, I'll ask you to do a little bit of extra work and some extra research and getting more engaged with the class. Just email me, and that if you're interested, and we can talk about it. The other thing is that this class is actually approved to fulfill a requirement for the certificate in teaching and learning. And again, if you're thinking about going on to teach in the future, either as a professor or part-time or something, that could be valuable for you. And this class would just be one step. There's actually a number of other steps that are involved, but there's only certain 375 courses that qualify, that give you that requirement for that certificate. So if you're interested, you can click on this to learn more about what's involved with the certificate and that program. The course prerequisites, really none. It's mainly, most of you are grad students. I think there's one exception. Chris is an undergrad, but he's serving as a GSI. So so that's should be pretty clear. I do want you to come in to attend most of the lectures, the sessions live. I'll experiment with recording them, but I really don't think you'll get very much out of the recording, because it's really about engaging in discussion. So I'm open to this, but I'm hoping that we don't have too many people I'm hoping we don't have anyone who really needs us to record this every week. The textbook. So we have a free textbook. It's great. It's online. It's exactly perfect for this class. It's called Teaching Engineering, and you can just click on the link to pull it up. It's quite comprehensive. We're not going to read the whole thing by any means, but it's got a lot of nice elements to it that you can that you'll probably enjoy. This is it's a reference book, and it's, I'll just see Introduction to Teaching Engineering here. I would like you to read the first chapter just to get started, and then we're going to read certain selected elements from different chapters. But read the first chapter for next week just to get a little context about this book. Again, just go to the link to find it. There's other material out there, and I think most of you have visited the gsi.berkeley.edu website. It's incredible resource, and I'll just click on it for a second. It's just filled with interesting and relevant information, and you can really spend several months reading through all the material here. What I want you to just look it over, and two things I want to point out. One is that there's a new hub for remote teaching with a lot of suggestions, and we'll be talking about that. And also that there's these workshops that are coming up. And if you're interested in these are free and open to you. Again, they're all given by Zoom. And so, for example, there were a couple that already happened. If you go to the fall workshops on teaching, you can see that there's ones on developing a statement of teaching philosophy and a teaching portfolio. Again, these are a little bit tailored to students who really are planning to go on and become teachers. So there's a lot of detail, but these are about 90-minute classes, and check them out. You can just see if anything looks of interest to you. How students learn looks particularly interesting, and I just signed up for it myself. Okay, so back to this. The required ethics class. Now, let me ask, if anyone who, or those of you who are teaching, you probably hopefully got my email, but if you're teaching, you actually have to take this class, this online ethics course, before you start teaching. So is anybody, well, let me not put you on the spot, but if you haven't taken this yet, please do so. It's really important, and it's technically a requirement. You're not actually supposed to be a GSI until you finish this. And here's the thing, it's not super onerous. It's actually quite interesting. And this is the GSI Ethics online course contents. And it's got these 5 modules, and it takes about 4 hours to go through it. So you can just, it's not non-trivial, but you basically go through and it talks about scenarios. I actually found it quite interesting and enlightening, but if you go through that, it will be a very helpful way to get prepared with basic minimum set of skills for teaching at Berkeley. So if you haven't done that yet, budget time to do that in the next couple days. It's very important. Okay, there's a lot of other things here. There's, we'll go over some of these, we're gonna be talking more about some of the material that's in that class, in this class, sorry, in that course, that short course in this class. There's also information like essays on teaching, there's videos from master teachers. Again, there's a lot of resources. Almost any question you might have, there's answers there at gsi.berkeley.edu. All right, so these are the objectives, the course objectives. Just list these. Basically, you can read them, pretty standard. What you're gonna get out of this class. You'll understand the policies and procedures. You'll be able to organize concepts, design activities and discussions for remote learning. You'll integrate verbal and visual methods of conveying engineering concepts. Again, that's related to the presentation skills I mentioned. And you'll also get some experience with evaluation of students' work. Grading is, as I said, pass-fail. And what we're doing is the grading is going to be based on partly on attendance and partly on, and by attendance, I mean participation. So I want you to really feel comfortable using the chat area to ask questions, unmuting your mic, and and just jumping in to make this more lively. That's really important. If it comes to the end of the semester and I really don't recognize you at all, then that's going to be a sign that you haven't been very active. So try to ask a question. I mean, aim for asking a question like every session or every other session. And then homeworks, you'll see what those are. They're pretty straightforward, usually under a page, some kind of reflections on what we talked about. And then there's a final essay. We'll talk more about that later, but it's a 3-page essay on any topic from this class that you found interesting, that you can want to expand on and investigate further. Okay, and then as you can see here, that all this adds up to 100, but you need 60% to pass. So if you're attending every time and you're doing the homeworks, then you might not need to do the final essay. Okay. All right. Now the honor code is also important. And by the way, I encourage you to share this, something like this. You're free to copy this, by the way, for your classes, but it's really important to convey that we do have an honor code and we expect you to honor it. And it's about acting with integrity at all times. And also it's about not cheating. And so that I'm not worried about that in this class. It's not an exam-based course, but it's about doing things in a having integrity. So it means not copying your friend's homework and just submitting that as your own, changing a few words around it. Okay, that would be a violation. But I also have something new which I added this year, which is the diversity, equity, and inclusion policy. And I want to go over to that and just talk about it for a minute, because this is actually going to be something we're going to be talking about in this class. But I want to set a good example of my own policy. And again, you're welcome to adopt this or modify it if you'd like. You can just copy the Google Doc and then make changes to make it comfortable for you. But I'm adopting this because I think it can be very reassuring to some students. And what it says is that I'm going to respect differences in religious, disabilities, other circumstances, and I'm very open to constructive feedback. So if at any point you say, hey, listen, I'm really offended by something you said, I would prefer you to tell me so I can learn from that. I would never do that intentionally, but it might happen inadvertently. And so sure, let me know. As I said here, I'm committed to creating a diverse learning environment and respecting your race, ethnicities, nationalities, gender identities, socioeconomic class, sexual orientation, language, religion, ability, and other aspects of your life. So whatever makes you unique is something I'll respect. And if you want to share that with me and you say, listen, it's important that you understand this, then I will appreciate that. If you ever feel at any point in the semester that your performance is going to be affected, and by that, it's very possible that you may get sick with the COVID-19 situation we're all facing. If that happens, please inform me. I will make every effort to accommodate you. I may get sick, and I will hope that you give me the same courtesy. If I do get sufficiently sick that I can't teach, I may have to take a couple weeks off. So, but listen, let's all work together. I also want to make sure that everybody treats each other with respect. Very important. And so, be sensitive in your response to other people. And I'll say more about that, how I have a sort of strategy for giving criticism that I'll share with you that I think you'll find pretty useful. And accommodation, if you have accommodations for learning disability, anything like that, we'll respect that. Usually that goes through the disability center. They send me a notice about that. Just remind me before, at any time when there's a demand that you need extra time for, just let me know. And there's a number of other resources here, links to these are specific for engineering, some of them the disabled students program. You can find these in other sources too, but I just put a few of these down for reference. Also, there's a food pantry. I know we talked about food and recipes, we're joking around, but if you are in a situation where you're living on campus and having a for financial reasons or any other reason, running short on food, there is a resource here. Okay, so if you or a friend or one of your students is, expresses that they're having trouble, with basic needs like food or shelter, then these are some resources you can share with them. Okay, so going back. Okay, schedule. So before class, I emailed many of you. I know that many new people have signed up and some have dropped the class since then. So I'm going to send out another email shortly with the new list. But I asked you to make sure you took that online ethics class and also that to read chapter 1 of the text. Now, let's see. Oh, the pre-course survey. I wanted to look at that together. Now, again, we got 27 responses because I sent this out about 10 days ago. So not everybody was registered at that time, but I just wanted to share it with you. This was on Google Docs. And the nice thing is you can see a nice distribution of where people are coming from, what departments. Expected graduation date. So about half of you are just in the early stage of your PhDs. And the location was interesting too. As you can see, Berkeley in the Bay Area was the highest by far, but we had someone from Greece, etc. And I see that we have South Korea here, and I think that's the only Thailand, right? Okay, and then we were worried about time zones. I just got a little bit of information about that. All of you have access to Wi-Fi, and interestingly, I was surprised. Most of you, majority, are using PCs, not Macs. So that's fine. It shouldn't affect anything, but I just wanted to understand what tools you're using. And what's the other thing? Printer. So for printer, the reason I put that down is that it can be helpful to print out notes and have them. But if you have another source or another way to manage PDFs, ideally you can make notes on them or on paper. That's helpful. If you have a printer, you can print out the syllabus and then you can make notes on the syllabus directly. So it's up to you. Also, this is the last thing here. How many of you were excited about taking this class? I saw that there's sort of a positive trend here, clearly, but not everyone is excited. So as I asked earlier about who's sort of taking this class under protest, again, I understand. And if you are, I will try to make it as painless as possible. Okay, so now let's do the, let's do another quick fun thing, which is, I have this shared Google Doc with the world map. So I'll put the this in the chat, and I want you to go there with it's actually here it is. Okay, so if you click on that, you can go in, and then if you click on that world map, you can double click on it. Then it opens it up as a drawing. And then you can place one of those little discs, just drag one and drop it in your, the location of where you were born. And if you're not able to see that for some reason, unmute and let me know. Sometimes it gets a little crowded because there's too many people. Wait, did I do something here? Oh, I'm sorry, I think I moved this on you guys. There we go. Okay. What was I going to say? I don't know if you need to install this as a special program, but it does come in handy, and it's also something I want to recommend for your own classes. That Google Docs are a really nice way to teach from, because you can do something like this. You can have an image open up, and you can have everybody actively edit it in parallel. So is anybody having trouble with this? Just unmute if you're having a problem. It's great. I love seeing this. It's so interesting. This distribution. I'm going to put my my birthplace is in Nigeria. Okay. Okay, so we have a really nice distribution of backgrounds here. Good. I like to see this. All right. So it's very important because we have almost every continent represented, and it's going to be it's about diversity, which we're going to talk more about as we go. So what happened? There we go. Okay. So I'm going to save this. Good. And now I'm coming back over here. Now we're going to try the breakout room. All right. So here's what I want to do. I want you to take note of these 6 items. If you just have the Google Doc open, that's fine. And what we're going to do in a minute is we're going to go out into breakout rooms. And I think we have 38 people. And I think we have enough breakout rooms to accommodate that. Just see for a second. 18, let's see, I'm going to create another breakout room. So I have 19 breakout rooms. And what I'm going to do is you're going to randomly land in a breakout room with one other person, if everything goes properly here. And then what I want you to do is, I want the following. You have 10 minutes and take half the time to learn about your partner. And I want you to learn about their name, some trick to remembering their name. Then maybe if they have a nickname, like a Starbucks nickname, like when you order a Starbucks coffee, what do you tell people? What name do you give them that people will easily shout out and recognize? Then something about your home department, what research area you're pursuing, a little bit of background, like where you were born and where you went to undergrad. And then one fun fact about you. It could be anything you want to share with us. If you're an ultra marathon runner, something like that. And then your attitude toward public speaking. Just let your partner know how you feel about public speaking, if you hate it or if you're okay with it, and or you love it. And then your favorite teacher of all time and why. Now, so that's 6 items. But then what I want you to do is try to quickly collect that information about your partner, then switch over and let them collect that information about you. And then we're gonna come back in and you're gonna introduce your partner to the rest of the class, okay? And we're gonna try and get through this really fast. So I'm hoping that everybody can do that in well under a minute. So you're gonna just zip through these facts and make an introduction to your new friend. Okay, is that clear? Any questions? All right, so you got the list of items. If you miss one, it's not the end of the world, but this will keep you busy for 10 minutes. And now I am going to try to launch the breakout rooms. How do I do it? Okay, wait, options. Okay. Okay, close automatically after 10 minutes. Okay. Now, how do I randomly assign you to the breakout rooms? Okay, hold on. I thought I've done this before. Just bear with me a second. I don't want to do it by, I want to just randomly assign. Okay. Anybody know the answer to this?
It should be just the automatic one, I think. Like
Yeah.
you pick how many rooms there are.
Yeah.
And then push go.
I don't see a go button. That's the
Or-
problem.
Mm.
Should I just say recreate all rooms?
Yeah. That could work.
Oh, existing rooms will be replaced. Oh, okay. So sign, this is so weird. 37. Okay. Let's try that.
You might want to do half of 37 rooms if you want 2 people per room.
Right, that's what I'm doing. 18,
Oh, okay.
18 rooms. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, let's try it. Open all rooms. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I guess, was I the one that's supposed to leave the room?
Yeah, Claire, you're gonna leave. Meng, do you want to go back into the breakout room?
How can I get back to the breakout room?
I can put you back in there. Here we go.
Click below at breakout rooms, you can join. Oh no, we got Anthony too.
Oh, Anthony and Claire. Hey, Anthony and
Yeah.
Meng, if you guys go back to the breakout room 1, can you do that? Yeah.
At the bottom of your screen, if you click the breakout
Oh.
rooms, you can join back. Okay. We did it.
Oh, good. Okay. Wow, it's great, but when it works, okay?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. So how are you doing?
Doing okay, yeah.
Okay, should we go through the things? I'll ask you your questions. What about name? What's the best way to remember your name?
Yeah, I guess I used to be called Claire Bear, so that one's an easy one.
Oh, good. That's a good one. That's good for Berkeley too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then Starbucks nickname, I mean, usually just maybe spell without the E, or Clara, sometimes they write that, I guess, I don't know.
Okay, Clara. Okay, good. And then your home department?
Mechanical engineering, and I'm working on fuel cell material characterization.
Fuel cells, okay. Who are you working with?
I work at the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, and I'm working in the Weber group.
Oh, LBL, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, okay. And fuel cell characterization. So this is your first semester, or you've been here for longer?
This is my 3rd semester.
Okay. So
or sorry, third year.
Third year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, mechanical engineering, I'm sure you've heard they don't have like a teaching, like you don't have to teach a class necessarily for your degree.
Yeah. So you're one of the people who may not ever use this class?
I hope to. I hope to teach, like maybe teach a class in the spring or next year.
Okay.
Yeah, but I heard about your class from other students that are really interested in teaching, people that are interested in getting the certification. And I think, I mean, seems like a good thing to do, and given the opportunity, I don't know.
Good. Well, good for you. Okay, excellent. Well, I'm glad. What about we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Where were you born?
I was born in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, okay. And where'd you go to undergrad?
Yeah, Georgia Tech in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, great. Okay. And fun fact?
I played water polo for 10 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still playing?
I played on the club team my first year here, but I've stopped. Yeah.
Okay.
Too much time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty serious sport. Okay.
I transitioned to yoga.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about public speaking? How do you feel about that?
That's all right. I
Okay.
get nervous sometimes, depending, but.
Well, you're not too much, not too nervous. Okay.
Not
And then
too
what?
bad.
And who's your favorite teacher of all time?
I have a couple, but I'll start with my first first favorite teacher was my third grade teacher, and why? I think it was.
Who is it
well,
first? Give me the name.
She changed names like 3 times. She got like married, or she married, divorced, married, divorced. The last one I remember.
Well, no, the first one.
Williams.
When she was your teacher, what was her name?
Yeah.
Tatman or Williams, something. Yeah, it's been so long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why was she your favorite?
She had us do like multiplication tables, and each time you like stepped up, like first you did like zeros and then ones and then twos. Each time you stepped up, you had like an ice cream scoop go on top of a cone, and it kind of like built up. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, that's great. Okay, that's great. Excellent. All right,
Cool.
thanks, Claire. So, Preston,
Hey.
you joined us. Were you in a breakout room?
No, I was not.
But you never got assigned. Perfect. So how about this? Why don't you, you just heard all the facts about Claire. And why
Okay.
doesn't she interview you to get your facts? You
Okay.
guys can do it right here, and I'll just listen in.
Perfect. I'm right here.
Hi.
Just
Hi,
pro
Preston.
tip, I literally just got out of my other class, and I will talk about that later. So you're gonna have to give me a little bit extra background comparatively.
Okay, cool. So there's like a Google Doc here with a syllabus. I can share that in the chat.
Okay.
Right, because if you just came in, but basically what we're doing is we're pairing up, and then we're going to interview Claire, which we just did, and we have 6 questions, and then you're going to introduce her to the rest of the class.
Okay.
Now she's going to ask you 6 questions, and then she's going to introduce you. So,
oh man, I feel. Oh man, so I wasn't paying complete attention.
Yeah.
No worries.
Okay.
I'll
well,
share the story about the ice cream scoops, but I won't
probably
mention the 3 different marriages.
Okay. All right, Claire, we're running short on time, so you have 5 minutes. Actually, it's perfect.
Let's go. Okay, so first, your name and a mnemonic, how to remember it.
Ooh, my name is Preston Awadizian. Don't think Audishan. That would be wrong. Just remember it's a ow and then a Z sounding.
Okay. Audishan.
Don't do Audishan. That's what you don't do.
Which one is it?
It's Awadizian. Just think ow and then Z, and then those are really the only like tricky vowels people get tripped up with ever.
Audisian. That's cool.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And then your like Starbucks version of your name, which I guess you kind of gave.
What would be a Starbucks version? What does that mean?
I think of it as like just something they mess it up, and then that's what I think.
Like you need a real short name like Owl or something like that they will remember when they're calling your name at the Starbucks.
Aquadizian or something.
That's not a Starbucks. You're never gonna get any coffee. That's too bad.
I've heard it butchered so many ways. I don't know, and it's I don't know how to butcher it more. Just put a period. Like I usually I get a lot of Mr. Prestons because they don't know if the context is like Mr. Mrs. So and so. I always get the first name. We could just do that.
Right, you guys have 1 minute left.
Oh crap.
Fast.
Home department research.
Nuclear engineering, nuclear threat adjudication.
Threat adjudication. Okay, awesome. Okay, and then where were you born?
I was born in Palmdale, California, where Afro Man is from.
And then what was your undergrad?
My undergrad was in physics, and I also played football at UCLA.
Oh, okay. So your undergrad is physics. Okay. Cool. And then.
Well, you guys have another minute. You have a full minute.
Okay, cool. Fun fact. About
I guess the football would have been a thing. What's a fun fact about me? What are the categories? I do a lot of. I think I'm a fun individual. What was your fun fact?
I played water polo for 10 years.
Okay, I played football most of my life. We'll just keep it on similar ground of sports.
Football at UCLA while doing physics. Okay. And what's your attitude toward public speaking?
I don't have a problem.
No problem. Okay. And then what's your favorite teacher and why?
His name is Dr. Samani. I was thinking about that as you were going. I had him as a undergrad at UCLA. It was his teaching style and his passion for teaching. He was one of the few people that actually liked to teach and wasn't just there to use the nice labs for his research.
Yeah,
I learned a shit ton too in that class.
That's awesome.
It's great.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like that's how all my favorite teachers, if they kind of choose them, they're the ones that are the nicest, and they teach you the most, and
It was great.
it's fun to be in their class. Yeah.
Also, nice background.
Oh.
You guys are like twins here. That's great. Okay. Very good. Okay, we're getting everybody back in. I'm going to go back onto matrix view here. I think we lost a few people. Oh, no, they're all coming back. Okay, great. All right, so we're going to do the intros. And I am going to go, let's see, I'm going to, so here's how we do it. Because it's already 5, we've already spent an hour together. And I don't want to keep you guys too late. So here, let me tell you first where we're going, because if you have to leave early, I just want to, there's a few more things on here. One of the things I was going to do is introduce myself. I might wait till next week to do that. But there's a little bit of homework for you this week, and it's on the syllabus again. I want you to just review that website. I want you to read that first chapter of the book. And then here's the important thing. I want you to prepare a 2-minute Blackboard lecture. So that, by that I mean no slides, just like something you would write with the board, with a whiteboard. And there's a trick on there to be able to do that. On Google Doc, you can insert drawing, and then you can use your mouse to scribble. So that's, we're not going to blame you if your handwriting isn't perfect, but try to practice a little bit in how you would present your idea in 2 minutes to us next session. And we want you to pick a topic that's